Alright, check. 1, 2, 3. Check. We're going to prepare the stream. I mean, it's not really stream, but I kind of want to treat it like a stream because I shoot this video straight away and probably not going to edit anything just to make things real time, Alright. So, welcome to my second video, and in this video we're going to break down my latest work, which is going to be this Porsche 917 Steve McQueen. This is basically really the best car I ever made. So before the video start, just grab yourself a cup of coffee because this video is gonna take some time. It's gonna be long. It's more like a vlog. I'm just gonna talk about anything that I would like to talk regarding my project because it's gonna be a breakdown. So let's get right into it, shall we? I should probably get myself a cup of coffee, but let's just get right into it, shall we? So first thing first, I would like to show you my reference image first. So this is how I usually work with all of my projects. I don't use any blueprints or any previous model that is modeled by someone else now. I would always love to talk that I make everything from scratch, so it's completely made by me. So the thing is, I usually always gonna be like have this small study case where I browse about all of the reference image that I need before I start making my project. If it's my client, which it's a commission work, then the car photos is probably gonna be from my client, just like what I did mostly on my work. But if it's like my personal project where I gonna start making my own project, the car that I actually want to make, and it's not a commission work, and mostly it's because for my portfolio I usually just gonna pick up image from website called Bring Trailers, like I said in the previous video, or I just kind of browsing up on Google because this car is really popular, so there's a lot of image reference on Google. So normally I take what I need, which is mostly the front side, the back side, the left side, normal side, the headlight, the details, the machine, the engine, and everything else. I'm a right-handed person, so I cannot work by looking on the left side of the car. So everything is always going to be from the right side, which is kind of, it's a flaws as an artist, but hey, I'm a human. I'm an artist, but I'm a human, so I got these flaws. So here's gonna be my reference image here. This car looks really amazing. And before I like to work, mostly I kind of have this imagination on my mind first, how small the car I want to make. From this car, I want to already have this in my mind. Everything is just going to be like on my mind. The wheelbase, how long, how tall, everything is going to be on my mind, That is like what I could probably say going to be my weirdness. Because mostly if it's an artist, they probably going to like make a sketch, draw first on a paper or like on an Illustrator, which I could probably do it too, but it's just I don't want it. I want to just like work from my imagination, which at some point, other artists gonna consider this as something privilege, where you can just like work from your imagination. It's actually some kind of pros, which other artists probably doesn't really have it, and I'm really grateful for this one. But also at the same time, this is a flaws, okay? It's my flaws, but that is what I do. That's what makes me me, not someone else. So, alright. First, I'm rocking a Blender 3.3, as you can see, because 3.4.1 sucks. Has a lot of bugs for now. I mean, it's not like I'm not grateful. Blender is a free software, but it's just like, hey, there's a bug. I gotta talk about it in a term of an analytic, So, alright. So, I would like to show you too my folder. I keep everything tidy, like this one. Every brand card I made, I have specific folder for it. And if it's for my current project, it's going to be Porsche. So it's going to be in here. Hold up, let me check my audio. Oh, it's recording good. You know, the last time I make video, I forgot to record the button. Wait, hold up. Actually, I don't trust myself. I gotta check it first on my camera. Okay, it's recording good. Because mostly I kind of forgot things and then I just regret everything if the video is already like ended. So that's a good thing in there. Right. Where are we at? It's gonna be on the folder. Right. So here's my folder for this project. It's gonna be like Siphon. I like to keep it as a part like this, you know. The first part is gonna be like the basic model, the basic, you know, the base case. Second one is gonna be the wheelbase. I start cutting the tires, and the third one usually is for like cutting each part and basically make everything like the real scale one. The fourth one is where things start to get complicated. I start to add more details like headlamp, and then mostly it's gonna be like the engine, the interior. It goes for the part 4. The 5th one is finishing. It's mostly like finishing, checking every line, checking every smoothness, if it's like smooth or not. The 6th part is gonna be like decaling. You know, I put a lot of decals, make decals by myself, or like it's gonna be basically a shading part. And yeah, the 7th one is gonna be the part where I do render my whole model. So first, I'm gonna show you my first step in here. Always gonna make my folder clean on the right side. So it says mainly main body. It's gonna be the body first. I start everything by cube, you know. Mostly I start from this case just to practice. I'm gonna have some mirror first. And then usually I start adding some circle first. The circle mostly is just to measure the wheelbase, how big the wheelbase, or like how tall the wheelbase is gonna be. It's not gonna be like the finished product yet, but it's just gonna be for measurement. This is how I actually mostly make my tires in the first term of the work. You're probably gonna see me working really fast. Well, yeah, because I put so much time working on Blender. Like if you ever can ask me how much hour have I been working with Blender, it's gonna be a lot, like 1,000 hours more than that. It's just how I do honestly. Okay, gonna set this. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you how I pull it from the beginning. I'm just gonna show you what I already do in my project, and this is gonna be like for demonstration because I don't really record my time lapse. You know why? Because I have things to do. I have other things to do, and mostly for this project, I forgot to record it. Oh my god! And my college work is actually really killing me because I study law, and my college use Arabic language. So I basically somehow you can say I can or I'm able to speak English and Arabic at the same time. English is gonna be my second language. Indonesia is gonna be my first language, and Arabic is gonna be my third language. It is what it is. So yeah, this is gonna be like my base wheel model. It's not really detailed yet, but it's just, you know, for measuring what I need later on. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so this is gonna be like the wheel first. Now the thing about this Lee Man's car is that hold up. The rear wheels is gonna be much bigger. So that's like different from my regular type of car that I made. So just in case for this demonstration, I gotta make the wheel bigger. So the thing is, when you kind of wanna, increase the size of the rear wheel, but if you resize just like this, it's gonna, you gotta make sure this one has the same placement. I don't know how to say it in English, but you know what I'm saying. So instead of you set the center point in here, you gotta set it in here. Make sure you set it there, and then to your cursor, and then there you go. You can start zooming like this, so it's gonna be stay in there. All right, so that's how it is. So back then, when I was making this car, The wheelbase is not gonna be that long, but it's gonna be enough where I could put a wheel or like a door in it, you know, in here. So that was like the main point. And I gotta think about it before everything else. So it's gonna like take everything, you know, like I said, for me, everything is gonna start in here. So I don't really need any blueprints at all. Just gonna work with from my imagination rawly. That's how I at least like to describe it. And that's how I made it in the first half of the project. Now let's moving on. I'm gonna show you the next part from here because it's already done. I'm just gonna want to show you the breakdown, how I, you know, the history I made it. So the fourth one is where I start making this whole kind of the low poly version of the car. Now, as you can see, this is like what I call a low poly car first. You know, everything gonna start from low poly. You know, you gotta decide first from this complicated organic model. You gotta make it like, you gotta imagine it like as a simple model first. As you can see, it's gonna be like from a cube right here. It's gonna be like a cube, but then you kind of have this middle of the car gonna be like bump up a little bit. So that's what my idea in here, as you can see. But it's not the perfect one. It's not perfect. That's why there's a lot of part on me where I still make adjustment on each part of this car. Even if I could sell it right now, I see it by the time I finish the project, I could say that the wheelbase or like the tail is kind of short. It's kind of much longer because of the wheel later on. So this one is still too short. That is why in the next part, I gonna make a longer version of it. So this is like the basic one. Still gonna make small adjustment until finally it's gonna be like quite make something out of it. You know, I add more vertex and edge or like faces in here, as you can see. And most of the time, I always check it with this matte cap right here. I turn on the sub modifier, make it really high and make the shade smooth. And then just basically from here, check each line and its light, whether I just need to make sure that everything looks smooth. As you can see in here, this light right here is not really smooth. And how I smooth it is mostly just gonna start moving it one by one. I'm pressing G and then E. G, E again. G, E again, until it's finally gonna start make it really smooth. But it's not always gonna be the case, you know. You gotta know too what you should do in this kind of situation without even looking any guide or anything else. This is basically back to you personally, you know, how you handle things and how you handle your own project. But for me, it's just because I kind of spend too much time in this kind of stuff, I kind of get used to it, and everything is gonna be like, oh, I know this stuff. I just gonna move this in here. Just kind of work with my feeling, and somehow it's gonna make it looks really nice and better. So yeah, here it is. Gonna be the main. It's kind of much more smoother, but still though, that's why there's need a lot of adjustment, and that is why it takes so much time. You know, when I work with my client car, sometimes just to make this base of the car, to make it perfect, it takes me like around 2 days until 3 days before I start adding everything else, like the wheel, the details of the chair, interior, and the engine, and etc. It takes time. So if you ask me why my car takes so much time to make, well, because it's art. You cannot rush art. Okay, so I hope you understand this. If you kind of want to order commission from me, it takes time, but I can guarantee you that it's not going to be longer than a week, because I know what I'm doing. I know I set my own time, and it's going to be on time, inshallah ta'ala. Wait, hold up, I gotta check my camera again. The battery is actually quiet. Okay, good. Still recording. I look so amateur right now, but no, it's professional, okay? Gotta keep it professional. This is just like, I gotta see it, you know? So, we good here? Good. All right, let's moving on to the next one. And yeah, mostly the cutting part of the tire, which is actually quite hard, is actually pretty easy. You see in this part, I haven't cut anything from the wheelbase, right? What I do, mostly the best way I like to do it is basically make the downside, make a clear or like delete all of the face on the bottom side. And then by the time you already have the wheel, just make another one, just like this one. And basically start imagining how you're gonna cut it. You already see it, and sometimes you just gotta cut it from here, like this one somehow, and delete that, and then you gotta delete this part too. And after that, you gotta use this loop tools called circle. Or if it's not, it's gonna be like relax. Now it looks like trash, but that's why you gotta work with your own imagination and feeling. You gotta create a shape it as a circle, and then start building it one by one. And that is why you gotta be patient too. What I could say about these projects, what I'm proud of is that I spent a really, really good time making this. And that is why I kind of get used to it. So it's going to be really easy for me. Like by seeing things, I can already tell, oh, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. So it's really, really on point, as you can see. And then if it's too big, you just got to make it smaller and then adjusting depending on your needs. And then make the exact thing from the tires and make it like adjustment later on based on what you already do with the car. So that's how it is. Now, moving on to the next part is going to be like part 2. Where I basically just gonna make adjustment again, but it's more like make it exact proportion for the car itself by looking on the reference. I record this video with 16 by 9 aspect ratio, but it's just like to make the video easier to watch, okay? Normally I work with ultra wide monitor where I can put this part, oh my god, my English is gone, oh my god. Like, I gotta put my other tab for Blender and then my other tab for this reference image, so I can always like see one by one. It's gonna be like much better and easier if I have like 2 monitor, on top of this one, and this one is like here. But hey, that's like what being artist mean, really. You gotta work with what you have and you gotta be creative with it. So that's how I do it. Even so, I already have like another monitor on my other house, but it's like the fact that I have 2 houses, okay? This house near my college, where I go to my college. And my other house is for my peaceful mind with my dad. So I can't just like bring my old monitor and bring it here and then just to have 2 monitor in here. No. That's why I just keep it in there. There's one in there and there's one in here, okay? The question is going to be like, why don't you buy another one? Well, because I don't want to. Because I want to be creative. Just like I want to use what I already have. All right. This is how I think. If you don't like it, it's fine. But it's just how I think, and that what makes me, not someone else. All right, cool. Understand? Good. Moving on. As you can see in this part, it looks much more smoother because I already make a really lot of adjustment, like this one, as you can see. But even so, I can tell that it's not really smooth at all. That's why sometimes I still make adjustment, and then summa ba'da dhalika ikrar, summa ba'da dhalika ikrar marratan ukhra. I just speak Arabic. Because sometimes once you already like master 3 languages, you kind of confused. Oh my god, where shall I speak? Shall I speak Arabic, English, or Indonesia? Which one? Oh my god, I confused because sometimes there's like these features on other language that this language doesn't have. So it's just kind of annoying, but hey, it is what it is. All right, tamam. And then, just gonna make a real more adjustment until time. I mostly spend all of my time doing this stuff, okay? Make adjustment, make things smoother, and just doing really small stuff. It may look like it's not important at all, but it did affect a lot of the whole thing of the project. That is what I do really care about, how smooth the project is, So yeah. Alright, this part is done. Let's moving on to the next one. I'm gonna show you my 4th part, where everything start gonna be on the shape. Now, normally in this part, I already start like cutting each part to make it like the real scale car. This part is probably gonna be like the hardest part because I don't have blueprint. I don't use any blueprint. I don't have any guide. So I gotta work again everything from my brain, okay? So it's just like, it's hard, it's pain. Sometimes I just want to go to somewhere else, Whenever I try to work with this, sometimes I encounter a lot of like frustration. But oh my God, it doesn't work. Oh my God, it doesn't work. Just like coding, basically. If it works, why? If it doesn't work, why? So why? So mostly whenever I kind of encounter creative block, I just go out, just forget about my project and then just basically buy a cup of coffee, like talking with my friends and, basically have normal discussion. And then after I came back home, I somehow managed to find a way and my mind is really like refreshed so I can make it proper cut in here. Like for example, as you can see in this one. As you can see in the car itself, it has like cut in here. See, this part is the door. But this one is like a toys one, but the real one is, as you can see in here. There you go. There's like this door and then the back side. But since I already make squash, how do I pronounce it? Squash, whatever you say, man. English is not my native speaker, so don't bully me on that. It's like you already squashed the car, so you don't really have some feature that the original car on the real scale has. So you gotta work making it your own. So it's definitely your own business, and it's not like the real car anymore. It's yours. That is why this is Auhapwrd, where the one who designed it like this is gonna be me. It's up to me how I can make it this longer or like smarter, where I redesign the whole thing, I do hope you actually get my point. All right. And what I like about talking in front of mic like this, I can, try to learn more English by speaking, because I listen a lot of English speakers, so I gotta, talk much more too. All right. Anyway, this is gonna be the window. It's gonna be the what is it called? The window, the front window. As you can see, I just cut it like really slowly, and that is why it looks really, really smooth. And this one, I start to cut for the headlamp. Again, the headlamp, it doesn't really have any measurement, so I gotta decide it my own. And if it's the first look like trash like this, that is why you have this loop tools called relax, and you gotta make it relax and make everything on point and not just basically sucks. So it looks really, 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 really clean and professional. All right, this part is done. I'm gonna show you another one, the part I've already going through. And then there you go. The after cut is gonna be like this. Even so, I still say it's not really that clean, but hey, we're gonna fix it in the next part later on. That is what it's going to be. The next part is going to be the third, fourth, 5. Now, in the 5 one, I usually add more cut, like this one, as you can see. It's going to be the front bumper, like this one, and then this one. But again, it's going to be up to me, so I am the one who decide whether it's going to be. And basically, after every part is going to be like already have its own place, I decide whatever I want with it. I don't really look reference anymore because I just need to make it my own, As long as I already have this whole scenery of the car, I can decide myself whether I want to make it my own. How do I want it to be? All right. Except for the engine. The engine, I gotta look the reference, or even more, it's not enough just to look at this one, because I gotta take a look on the inside part too. And this is why I kind of like want to say I have OCD, because I can just like leave it, just make it the what it looks like from outside, but no, I make the inside too. Just like the proper car thing running a real engine, but it's like miniature version of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's my, I would say I like to make small details, in the car that I made. Alright, it's basically like, again, I'm working on a small detail until finally here. On the 20 part of my project, from the part 4, it's gonna be definitely more cut and stuff. Even I already add some small engine in here, select on the car, but still though, even if I already like saw it right now, the wheelbase, the speed tail is still like kind of too short, because you will have this kind of bumper in the back, And if I keep it like this, it's gonna crash with the tire like in there. I'm gonna show you the example of this, what I'm talking about. Okay, sometimes talking with doing is actually better understanding for other people. So there's gonna be like this bumper in the back later on. And if you can see, if I don't, make this speed tail longer, it's gonna crash with the wheel later on in here. And that is why on the next part, I kind of make it longer, like around this part right here. And then I add this bumper, and everything else gonna be looks perfect in here, just like on the reference image. But again, I cannot make it my own because it's completely already different scale from the original one. So I will actually want to say my model is going to be like Auhapwrd scale because it's very bespoke or customized and personalized. It's like my own scale, my own version, Okay, the fifth part is going to be more detailed than the first one. And this one is usually going to be on my like, if I work a week for this project, it's going to be like on a day 5, normally, usually. So like one part is going to be a day, and each part contains like 20 parts. And then the next day is going to be like another part, which contains 20 other parts, something like that. Oh yeah, and this part already add a lot of engine in here. It's basically going to make a miniature version of this part right here. Gonna make the suspension to in there, but it's completely my own version. It doesn't look like the real thing, but it's a reassemble the original part. Even so, I don't really add this gas in there because there's no place anymore in there. And I kind of want to make it my own like this. And for this part right here, I already have another reference why I make it like this one. The point is, you get my point. And this one is for the tires. I'm gonna add this small stretch to make it more realistic. I'm not talking about the shader yet until now. I'm still talking about the basic model first. As you can see, I put more detail too. Like in here, I have like small screw in there just to make things more fun to watch. This one is gonna be like the spare tires, but why so small? Because it doesn't have more space. What am I gonna do, huh? I'm gonna make this tire, I'm just gonna place it there like a maniac. No, I can't do that. It's not fit in there. And that is why it's called, toys, like small toys version of me. So it doesn't have to make sense, okay? But still reassemble the real original one. That is what I mean, what I aim in here. There you go. Yeah, and I haven't even talked about the interior. The interior, oh my god. The interior part is gonna be like the second hardest part for me because I just kind of like, whenever I encounter the day 5 from my work, every time, by the time I already like in that day, all I think is just, how can I just finish this project? Oh my god, it takes so long. I feel frustrated. I feel drained. Oh my god, I just want to finish this project. And then I still need to work with this interior too. But yeah, somehow I managed to done it. It's really hard, I mean, for me it's kind of easy because I get used to it, but it takes time. And then I have this whole college work too. Oh my god. But alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. Hakadha huwa al-amr al-muslim. Yashkurullah ala kulli waqtin wa halin. Alhamdulillah. Alright. So, yeah. Where we at again? Oh my god. Interior. Okay, interior. Oh yeah. Interior. Okay. So, this is the interior. But still though, I enjoy most of my process, so there's no really worry on that one. And about this whole, the small detail in here, I mostly use manual way, or if I don't really want to use manual way, I just use what is called Boolean. But it's complicated. I don't really want to explain in this video. It's going to take so much time. Maybe in the future, I'm going to explain it. All right, moving on to the next part is going to be the sixth one. This one is going to be like more adding some decals. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want a special like content for me, if you want to chat with me or like have my advice, personal advice, just basically want to, learn more about artists, you should definitely be my Patreon page. I'm going to leave my Patreon page in the description down below. You can be my Patreon there and I'll see you there. All right, this part is gonna talk about how I add some decals. I mean, decals not really that hard, but definitely it takes time too. I use this really useful, what is it called? Add-ons called Image as Decal. I believe it costs $5, but you can buy it in the Blender market. But definitely it's really worth it. For this one, the detail for the side wall of the tires, I make it by myself by using Photoshop or either Illustrator. And I don't really want to explain that. You can just try it your own. But if it's me, I like to do it with Illustrator or mostly like Photoshop, depending on my mood. But not really depending on my mood, you know, more like depending on how the things are, you know, it's flexible. Sometimes this one, as you can see the sticker 22, it should be like big like this one. But again though, because I can't really find anything to fit there, I make it my own and I make it like this. I can just like make it in here like that one and then cut the other part, but no. I like it this way, and this is going to be my personal project. If it's like for my client's project, then I definitely gonna, you know, ask the clients whether they like it or not. So that's how it is. All right, the last part is going to be finishing. The finishing part where I convert everything into mesh first. So it's going to be much more easier if I want to move it later on with what is called like rake, if I want to animate this car. But that's really rare case because I don't really have time yet to put on animation. But definitely if I do have time, I'm going to make my own animation. So there you go, as you can see. This is going to be how I managed to render the image, the final image. I use cycles. Normal, there's nothing special in here. So basically that is all. Until finally it's done and it's ready to post on my Instagram and YouTube. If it's for my client, then I definitely could deliver it from the email with the resolution that they want it to. Also, if you want to purchase my 3D model, 3D printing, if you want to purchase the 3D model files, you can purchase it through my website. Definitely check out the website. You can print it for your own personal usage, but you can use it for a commercial project. Even so, if you want to order like your commission work, and then you want the 3D file, you can always order on my website. So definitely always check my website out. There's like a lot of things going on in there. I've been working with lots of clients, so it's just like another project for me. If there's gonna be like another client in my work schedule. So I think that's all for today's video. It's already like, oh my god, it's 11. Oh my god, it's 11. I have classes tomorrow. I gotta sleep after this. So yeah, I think that is all. Thank you so much for being with me. I'll see you definitely, inshallah, in the next video. I still need to study after this. Probably I'm gonna buy some coffee, and I'm in the fasting because it's a Ramadan. I gotta fast tomorrow. So well, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Hopefully I can wake in the class tomorrow. Peace out.